What's up, everybody? Welcome to THS Wrestling, Facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, Instagram.com/THS.Wrestling, YouTube.com/that #show TV, and also Twitch.tv/that #show. Oh my goodness, look at this. It's working. It's hopefully working. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope everybody enjoyed the horror show at Extreme Rules. Let us know. There I am at all times. That should be my background. I don't know why I didn't make that my background. Poor Hiromu. His heart is broken still. What's up, everybody in the chat? Let us know what you thought about Extreme Rules and Slammiversary. We're going to talk about Slammiversary. It's going to happen for those of you in the chat. Matthew, what's up? Sheriff, what's up? Ian, what's up? Barely survived the weekend, I bet. All right, guys, let's get to our panel. I'm John, obviously, and I am joined by Neeson. What's up, man?
Oh, man, today is a new day. Yes, it is. They may have lost, but the great, the GOAT, the boss, the blueprint, Sasha Banks has won, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great day.
It is a great day indeed, and we are also joined by Johnny P. 313.
What it do? What it do? Well, good to be here. I'm excited to talk about this weekend. A lot of great stuff happened. As Neeson already pointed out, Sasha won. And we're going to talk about all that and a bunch of other cool stuff that happened this week, including a very interesting swamp match that I was not looking forward to.
And we are also joined by the Wrestling Classic, Justin. Justin, welcome back, sir.
Ooh, yeah. We're back. I'm happy. This was a event fully that I wasn't looking forward to, but it was better than I expected. And, of course, similar to Neeson and Johnny, the boss is the champ, and hopefully we get to stay that way. We'll see what happens. She's the best in the game. She's giving off there in the best matches once again.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So we got a lot to get to. Like I said, we're going to talk horror show. We're going to talk some AEW, NXT, and a little bit of Slammiversary as well. So we are going to try and just run through this. Let's talk about what did we think of the horror show at Extreme Rules overall? For me, like Justin said, a lot better than I expected it to be. I will say match of the night for me was Sasha versus Asuka. And I mean, I guess not surprisingly, because we know Ziggler can go. Ziggler and McIntyre was also very good for me. So what do you guys think overall? Let's go with
I'll say the same thing. Like, it was better than I expected. I came into it a little bit late, but I tuned in, and when I did, like, I really enjoyed Ziggler versus Dolph way more than I expected to, but I shouldn't have had low expectations for that because, like you said, Ziggler's tremendous, right? He can give great match to a lot of people, similar to Sasha. And Sasha and Asuka was a really, really good match. Once again, some of my favorite Asuka matches are against Sasha Banks. She had that one in 2017, and they killed it again. The finish, a little goofy and all that, but overall, the pay-per-view was good. Even the Swamp match, they ended off a little bit different, but I know we'll get into it in more detail, but I think overall it ended up being better than I expected, like I said earlier on, and the guys and girls delivered, you know?
For sure. For me, I would say low-key, like, kind of the same thing. Like, Sasha, so happy she won that whole Bayley thing. But again, like, the women really delivered tonight. Like, I love, oh, Jesus, oh, God, wait.
There it is.
Waffles?
There it is.
Oh, shit, damn. Waffles.
I'm going to take a...
I got to breathe. Okay. But one, I had to give a lot of props to Nikki Cross because she showed up tonight. Like, Nikki Cross, it was like her coming out party. So props to her. But again, that was an amazing match. Even though she took the L, she still, like, came out on top. And then also I had to give a lot of respect to, like, we haven't really got to it, but it'll be the first match we talk about, is that tag team match. I was legit worried about that one, but it actually ended up being a really good match too. So props to Extreme Rules. It was actually a really good pay-per-view.
Yes. Extreme Rules. The rules that are extreme, that is a horror show to feet. And man. You know, let's just start with this. Let's just say one thing. Extreme Rules over the last couple of years has been one hell of a show. Like last year, we got the really epic mixed tag match, Extreme Rules match with Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans, and Becky and Seth. The year before that, we had a 2017 that had the Roman versus Bobby Lashley, which was pretty good as well. I can't remember the other standout match, but 2016 we had a mixed tag match of Sasha Banks and Rich Swann versus Noam Dar and Alicia Fox. Yeah, Alicia Fox. But not to mention the fatal 4-way with Finn Balor, Roman Reigns. I felt a fatal 5-way: Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, and Bray Wyatt. That was a hell of a match that really set the course of the future of WWE from that point. Because if you think about it, and we also had, because I was coming off the heels of John Cena and AJ Styles. So I say all of this to say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and gentle people alike, Sasha Banks is the mother effing champion, and she's the boss, the blueprint, the standard, and she just proved time and time again that Extreme Rules and any other show that she's on is the effing show, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like how much do we have to. Like, I can't explain it even more. Like, yes, it was a good show, top to bottom to me. I like what they did. I think Apollo has COVID or something like that. It's weird, but I like what they did from the tag match to the last match to even the swap match with Alexa Bliss playing Sister Abigail. Looked like it was pretty crazy. It was crazy. A lot of it was crazy. But Sasha Banks, we have the two-woman power trip. The two-woman power trip that we all wanted to see. And guys, do we have to say any more? Do we have to say any more? No. Yeah. Sasha Banks did. And even the eye. We can speak about the eye a little bit. If you want to talk about that. Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about it. But no. Sasha Banks, the boss, the blueprint, the standard, is Sasha 2 belts. Nothing more than need to be said. It's a new day. Yes, it is.
I'll even go on a limb and say something controversial. Sasha on the top is way better than Charlotte on the top or the man Becky Lynch. Like,
that's not controversial.
That's
really excited to see what happens on the shows when Sasha's involved. Becky was the champion with it. It was cool, but I wasn't with it. Like, I'm actually the whole pay-per-view could have sucked. The entire rest of the pay-per-view could have sucked. But I'm genuinely happy because Sasha snuck away with the title and we got the two-women power trip. Sasha's made me like Bayley, and I never liked Bayley. I've always thought Bayley was a tremendous wrestler, but I've never liked Bayley. She's made me like Bayley. That's how good she is.
I would like to point out that before we went live here, Neeson told me he had no pictures from Extreme Rules. So,
well, no, these are pictures actually you sent me. You sent me that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
on Twitter.
Yeah, Justin posted the two women power trip video, picture, and then he sent me the raid.
I had that women power trip picture made like a month ago when they first announced that Sasha's gonna go after the women's title, just because I thought it would be so funny to put their bodies on Triple H and Austin. I mean, their heads on their bodies, but I'm hyped.
It's good stuff. Yeah, I did see that they showed her, handed her the mist. Pretty. I actually said in one of our chats, how great would it be if Sasha won the match using blue mist?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It didn't happen, but we can dream. We can dream here. Okay, so let's go from the top here. We mentioned it a little earlier. WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, tables match between the New Day and Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know how much
comment on here until Johnny reads it.
Oh no, I already read it. I read it earlier.
I'm sorry, until Pingo reads it.
I agree. That's why Sasha's number one. I can't say Charlotte's not my number two, but Sasha's number one. Let's talk about table match.
Charlotte's very overrated. But anyway, let's move on. We got
a whole episode coming here.
That's a whole nother story. But
we all agree.
I thought this was a good match. I thought the finish was really good. I loved the teamwork aspect of Kofi trying to reverse the power bomb, but in comes Shinsuke with the kick to help us have new tag team champions. Justin, what say you?
I never really got to see the match because like I said, I started a little bit later in the show. But I will say this: I'm happy that Cesaro and Shinsuke are the tag champs. I love the New Day, but I always say that at this point, like, I understand when they are the tag champs why, and it totally works. So they're the most reliable, successful team of the last 10, maybe 15 years. I think they're even more successful at the Shield than the Shield at this point. But once again, it's a different conversation. But I always say, like, having the New Day as tag champions is kind of unnecessary because they're going to stay over whether they have them or they don't have them because they're good at doing that. So I'm happy for Cesaro and Shinsuke, and I really like the finish. The finish was cool. That spot that Kofi took.
Yes, fantastic.
Oh shit, yeah, it was dope.
Johnny, what do you think?
Honestly, like I really like this match a lot. Like, first off, shout out to Kofi who came out in the Michigan Dunks, go blue. So that was dope as hell. There it is, represent. And then it was dope as hell that honestly, like, kind of like Justin was alluding
Michigan
to.
State.
Oh, damn you. But kind of like Justin was saying, the New Day are just so over and so awesome that they get over other people. And to be real with you, as I was watching this match, I was a little bit worried at first because they weren't doing traditional like tag rules. They were just both going at it. But it led to a lot of spots where I was like genuinely in suspense, like, oh shit, is it going to table through here? Oh shit, they just set it up. This is looking dangerously close. So it literally had me on the edge of my seat and engaged, which I was like, damn, that's really smart. And then two, this match was just, again, awesome to see, like, Kofi again. And I was watching this match and seeing Kofi's energy, jumping around the ring, doing all these awesome spots. I was like, fuck. I feel like Kofi needs a singles run. Like, I love him as tag champs with Big E, but I'm like, fuck. I want to see Kofi on another singles run again. So, honestly, I'm loving the fact that they, like, pass the belts to Shinsuke and Cesaro because now Shinsuke gets to add that to his resume. This is getting really lengthy in WWE as he's winning all these belts and everything. In addition to that, though, it gives the New Day something new to do. They either go after the belts again at SummerSlam or they can do something different with them. So I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen next.
Did you like the comment that stayed on your screen the whole time?
Motherfucker, I wasn't reading all this. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Matthew. Y'all gonna respect the Mr. Brand out here, son. Go blue. Leaders in the best in these streets.
This comment, Matthew, you've been saying this for months, dude. I love you, Matthew, but this is your go-to. This is your go-to.
Well, you know what, Matthew? Since you said this, and it made it interesting. It's interesting that Big E is the only announced guest on the bump this Wednesday. He's the only one. He's not Big E and Kofi, not Big E, Kofi, and Xavier, just Big E. So if Big E is going to turn on Friday, hey man, as long as you've been saying it on here, it just may come true this week.
I'm going to get it right eventually.
Come true, right? A broken clock gets right at least 2 times a day. But man, this match was great. I love the finish, honestly, because it was as gruesome as like it felt. It wasn't a false finish, like 2 tables from the apron on the outside. Nobody kicked out. Like it felt like that was supposed to be the ending, and that's how you send. If you're gonna send New Day off for a while or have them escape the tag team titles for a second, that's how you send them off. And then maybe, like we said last week, I know we have a comment that said, "What's next for Adam Cole, baby?" Maybe you have Undisputed Era come in and attack the New Day before they go for those tag team titles. I think that's great, and that's a great SummerSlam match. They need to be on anyway. They need to be on SmackDown. We talked about this at length, but yes.
All right. So up next, we had the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. We had Bayley defending against Nikki Cross. I believe at the top of the show, Johnny said this was kind of Nikki's coming out party. For those of us in the know for a while, Nikki has been great she's been in Shine, Shimmer, all of those places. She's been great for a while. I really enjoyed this match. And for 1 minute, I thought maybe we'd do the reverse where we'd have Banks 2 belts and then Bayley, be a reverse. But that is not the case, and we have the 2-woman power trip, which I am 100% behind. Enjoyed this match. Justin, what'd you think?
Enjoyed the match. It was really good. I enjoyed the finish. Obviously, there's gonna be something down the road because like the way that Sasha helped Bayley, very clean, very crisp, helped her win the match. The way Bayley helped Sasha win the match, a little controversial. Might end up having some problems tomorrow on Raw. But I enjoyed it. It was a good match. Like I said, I've always thought Bayley was a great wrestler. I've just never been a fan of her character, but she's been killing as a heel right now with Sasha. I was rooting for Nikki, but
we're rooting for you.
Long term, though, like they need to do something with the SmackDown's women's division because nothing's happening over there besides the karaoke and this, and it didn't seem like, I don't know. I'm not, but it was a good match. I enjoyed the match, and I love the finish. And Sasha was out there. Her facial expressions and her trash talking while she was at ringside and stuff was just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said Sasha. I'm sorry.
Lord, I declare.
Johnny, what do you think?
Okay, so for me, kind of same thing. Like one, like I've always been a big fan of Nikki ever since she was tag teaming with the Hills Have Eyes group and everything like that. And so when she got to come out here on her own,
the Hills Have Eyes group, Sanity.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yes. So, the fact that she's coming out here on her own is like extremely awesome and everything like that. And again, like I love it from the very beginning where like they're backstage. Oh, shout out, homie got a job.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
But was that guy in WWE? Because I don't remember seeing him ever.
Oh.
Oh.
So I love it from the very beginning where they're like backstage hyping everybody up, and they're like, "We believe in you. You got this." And the Kari's like, "But even if you lose, we still friends." Because you might. And then like I just love the intensity of this match and everything like that. Like I love them going out and everything. And I love again like her getting her confidence back and like doing like those like sick neck breakers and a lot of like moves on the outside, making it like extremely physical. And props to Bayley, like kind of like Justin was saying earlier, Bayley's heel run is getting better and better. I wasn't a fan of it at the beginning either, but now it's getting like more and more heelish, like more and more tactics. And it was awesome to see this match. And then honestly, again, shout out to Sasha for helping her get the win the way she did by giving her the boss brass knuckles to do that all cleanly and everything. So honestly, I love this match. It keeps Nikki looking strong. And now this leads us into like going to SummerSlam. Like, cool, Nikki could challenge again for the belt. She can get more confidence and everything like that as they do this power trip storyline. So I'm loving what they're building right here, and it makes me really look forward to SummerSlam these next coming weeks.
Yeah, man. I know everybody's talking about the 2-woman power trip and how it's like Austin and Triple H. But honestly, I've been thinking about this all week, and this match reminded me of it even more. This is more like D-Generation X, the original D-Generation X. This is more like Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Mm-hmm. And Bayley is Triple H. And this was a very Triple H heelish match that I seen. And yes, Nikki, to me, it was Nikki's standout match. I love the way it ended because it kept Nikki looking strong. She has something to say. I didn't lose. I love how they hyped her up. They had all basically the babyface women around her. That was the top woman right now around her, hyping her up before the match. I think that was a great addition to it. And it just made it feel, I know it was slept on, but it made it feel big. Just watching Bayley be the power person in the match, but like take the heel bumps. It reminded me a lot of Triple H. And I recently watched the Triple H versus Brock Lesnar cage match at Extreme Rules in like 2013, I think, or something like that. And that's what this whole run is really reminded me of. We will talk about really in depth about the Sasha Banks, but the way she was bumping and the way her body was like a rubber band, in a way that the way that Bayley was bumping, in a way she's still able to be strong and still was able to be like running like a coward sort of thing, but being bigger than Nikki. Man, it was just a good match, and it showed what people saw. Shout out Jimmy. It showed what people saw in Nikki when she was in NXT, when she had that, what was it, the Fatal 4-Way match with the ladies? Yeah. And she really had and it was like a mind-blowing match for everybody. And then she had the solo match with Asuka, and Nikki wants to play, and it showed why people were really enamored with Nikki. And I think now this is only up and up and up for her. This just rose her stock, and I can't wait to see more. So kudos to Nikki.
Still surprised how long that friendship between Nikki and Alexa's lasted. We know the WWE loves to break up.
It's great. Yeah, they do. It's really nice that
you're making money.
Yeah. It's really nice that they haven't, because that's been the women's division forever. Like, ladies can't be friends for some reason.
Yeah, we only got one breakup, right, in the women's division. Yeah.
So, and I mean, they honestly can't afford to do it because they have, tag titles. Also, I think maybe we should move Bianca to SmackDown and have her and Naomi be a tag team.
Yes.
I'm with it. I'm game with it 110%. I would like a trade.
Yes.
Someone needs to go to Raw for it, but otherwise I'm game.
A trade
I
would
was
be
thinking
fine.
that. Why?
Let's do it.
For
Naomi's been
maybe
wanting
a trade
to do
for
it.
future. For maybe a trade for future picks, whatever they say.
That's my that's my favorite.
Both women's divisions are kind of weak right now. I know Shayna's back and the Iconics over there, and Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan, and on the other side you have Naomi, Lacey Evans, and all that. But it needs to be a fair trade because I don't know, it's unbalanced now. And they didn't do nothing with Bianca until this past Monday, and it was kind of like I saw in main event facing Peyton and stuff, and I would be down with that. I'd be down with Naomi as a tag team and going after those tag titles. Why not?
Naomi wants to do it. She's been very vocal about it.
Oh, really?
I think that should be it because he's been talking about it. There hasn't been an African American women's tag team title run, our team really, and she's been on multiple shows touting that lately.
Man.
And I think if they really want to do it, they need to do it because that's the most athletic. Because she wanted to do it with Ember Moon, but Ember Moon looks like she's not coming back anytime soon.
Yeah.
So I would think Bianca Belair. I know she only stepped in for Liv Morgan because I think Liv Morgan caught the vid as well. Like all these random people that they had storylines for that they had to like just plug in. I think they were part of the big group that unfortunately caught the vid. So hopefully.
I also don't think there's a better time to do it than now because if you're going to be on Raw and SmackDown on all three shows, and if you want to take in consideration the fact that Montez is on Raw and you don't want to separate couples or whatever, like everything's being recorded at the Performance Center right now, so there's no better time than now.
Yeah,
there's two different roads.
At least
stuff,
absolutely. Yeah. So speaking of COVID, we were supposed to have a match. That's supposedly, by the way, we were supposed to have a matchup next between MVP and Apollo Crews for the United States Championship. But we were told before the match that Apollo was injured and will not be here. So they didn't know what was going on. And MVP, Bobby Lashley come out and they basically say due to forfeit, MVP is the new champion. So, and he has the new belt, and they just leave, and that was the end of the segment. I don't really have a lot to say about this, except I think the belt looks really good still. If MVP is default champion, I'm here for it.
If this is old school booking, if this was the 90s or early 2000s, Apollo would come back, and we'd have a ladder match with two belts hanging up there. Joking, but I'm with it. And this is a weird show because we have a couple of title changes where it's like, are they going to be made official title changes by tomorrow? We don't know. The Sasha one, this MVP one, because technically the man did not show up to a championship match. Like, does that really make MVP the champion then? Because I like the belt. I like the belt on him. It would be interesting to go that way. I think anything that can be interesting now is key because wrestling's really hard to watch right now.
Yes.
So, like, if that's what they're going to do, cool. And but I'm with it. Like, yeah. And I think that's another reason to bring Apollo back with more fire, being like, I didn't like. Did they say why he didn't show up?
Injuries.
Yeah, from getting the full Nelson.
From full Nelson.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to show up to work, man. You're booked for a match. You got to show up, man. I don't know. Like,
makes sense.
Was the match canceled? Did they clarify that, or was it that he didn't come, so it was forfeit? Like,
I mean, that's what MVP said. MVP said, I guess he's not here, so I guess your new champion by forfeit is me. And then he took the belt and they left, and that was it.
I know, like, what was it, a couple years ago that Vince, Stephanie, Triple H, and, they came out, and Shane came out there, and they said that they're going to put the authority in the fans' hands, and the WWE Universe is the boss now. But these are the specific sort of situations where you kind of miss authority figures because we don't know what's going on in a lot of different places. And I understand that,
I get Jack on the phone.
This is supposed to get us to tune into Raw tomorrow to see what happens. But
right,
who's going to be calling? Are we going to get a Vince or a Triple H appearance now? Like, who's going to be calling these shots?
I don't know.
All I have to say to this is Santana dip, Joel set. Get your grip, and your text. Who you with? Throw up your set. Dip set. What?
That belt is awesome. Okay, I would need some. Here's the thing. I love this segment because, like, one, like the quote Fat Joe, my team didn't have to play to win the championship, and so he just like gets the belt. It just like bounces off. It's like. And like, it's the Hurt Business, son. The Hurt Business. I have no problem with this because they're so heelish and they're so fucking good at it. This shit is awesome. And so I'm looking forward to this now.
Baby.
My only regret about this is that, like, honestly, like, I wish it was Shelton because like maybe he got the bid too. It was Shelton who got the belt, and MVP's just back rubbing his hands, managing everything like that, building up the squad.
And that's the only thing. It is really weird that MVP is the guy with the belt and not Lashley. It still kind of throws me off, but I get it. It's cool. I'm
low-key cool with Lashley not getting it because I want him to get another crack at Drew. So I feel like they're still trying to save him for the main event spot. Because that belt's below him type deal. So that's why I was okay with that.
Assuming Apollo versus MVP to crown undisputed champ. Yeah, you get the two belts up there, I guess. I mean, MVP.
What?
Yeah, Ian's been on this MVP is the worst wrestler for a couple of weeks. I feel like I could speak for everyone where we strongly disagree with that.
Yeah, I disagree. He's great. I will say this though. I know maybe it's because we're in that older age group now of like our later 20s. And they're really trying to push this MVP nostalgia US title run situation, which I do remember.
Yeah.
But from my perspective, I wasn't really watching at that point. So I don't get that same nostalgia from it that others might be getting from it. Like I don't remember that run as like being as important as maybe other people that were younger at the time that were watching SmackDown on Fridays because I was out on Fridays during those specific years.
Right.
That's not really clicking with me very well. Like, oh, MVP was this great United States champion. I'm like, I remember that, but the way they're trying to sell it, I ain't buying. But I think that's an age situation because it was just the time.
No, well, what you got to do is you have to buy it for $9.99 on the network in order to relive the title run. See, what they need to do, they need to give Ric Flair, Terry Bollett's old role of coming out and saying $9.99 by the network to relive MVP's title runs. Like, that's all they got to do. Like, they have the perfect platform. This is what pisses me off about WWE sometimes. You have a network that literally is for all of the things that you just said. You just said that, hey man, like I don't really remember it. Like I wasn't really watching at that time. That's what you have. All they gotta do is literally say, oh, here, put out a special about MVP. Draw everybody to the network. Put some playlist about MVP out. Because he was, when I used to watch him, I wasn't really watching wrestling back then, but he will bring me back because I kept hearing this guy doing the Jim Jones balling and coming out with the 305 chain, and he was supposed to be an NFL player, and I was just like, oh, this is interesting. Okay, they trying to spice it up a little bit, and that kept me watching him and versus Matt Hardy doing their whole run as tag team champions, but trying to get each other for the U.S. title. Him versus Ric Flair at Royal Rumble. Him he had some legit iconic matches, you know. So hopefully this reintroduces everybody to Montavious Porter MVP.
I might have missed it. I'm not 100% sure because I've been in and out of wrestling a lot this past couple of weeks with everything that's going on. But did they ever like share a video package on Raw that like showcased MVP's run?
I don't believe so. No.
Do it. Well, all the content you guys have and the talented people, like just do it. Give us like a cool here's a tribute to me as a U.S. champion, and like just show us the rundown.
Maybe they'll do that tomorrow.
We may see that tomorrow. Yeah, we may see it tomorrow.
Hopefully.
That would be great.
If not, they need to hire me so I can do it.
Yeah, there you go. And me, because I have great ideas, as you can tell. Yeah.
Absolutely. Up next, guys. Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio in an eye for an eye match. Okay, so the match itself, jeez. Remember when we thought there'd be a CGI eye? Do you remember that for like 2 minutes? And then we got this. My favorite
the eye thing as well as Bayley and Sasha protected the wig thing. It worked out. They're very talented people.
I will say this match between Mysterio and Rollins was great. I mean, the concept of the match is ridiculous. I will say the finish was I was laughing my ass off, especially when Samoa Joe goes, "It's out." It's out. It's out. And then Seth Rollins throwing up everywhere. The match itself was great, but all right, Jimmy.
Well done, Jimmy. Well done. Sir.
But what did we think of this eye for an eye match?
I don't know why you'd be doing Irish rips and like wrestling moves when your main objective is just to get the guy's eye out of his, his eye out. I'd just be attacking the eye the entire time. Why didn't someone bring pepper spray or something? Get this started real early, just go at it,
Yeah.
Well, look, I love wrestling, and these are the moments why I love wrestling, because it's the most craziest, outrageous thing to actually like. Do you ever? We're watching men and women in underwear fake throw each other around and tell a story, and so when you're able to actually hold an eyeball in a hand over a storytelling. I'm glad it wasn't CGI, by the way. I feel like the CGI stories, like they were like leaked out on purpose to see how people were going to gauge it. Yeah. But I'm glad it wasn't, because this was even better. It's just like, I'm like waiting for the CGI, and the next thing you know, I see, and this wasn't even a long time. It was like a long short shot. It was a short shot, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And it's out. And then you have Rollins throwing up, like, because what if you see somebody's eye hanging out? What would you do? You would probably throw up. You will probably gag, puke, probably faint. Like this was incredible. And now on Monday we're gonna have another stoic Rollins on Monday. Like this is his fault. I didn't want to do this, but I had to. He caused me to do this. He caused this. And then you have what you're gonna do with the son. Look, I truly loved it because it's as outrageous as you can get. And that's all that I wanted from this, is to be outrageous and to be. And they try the thing try to stab him with a pen. He tried to stab him with a Kindle stick. He tried to gouge his eyes out with the little sticks or the other things they tried. They kept trying to go for the eye. This wasn't just a wrestling match. It was I want to Chucky you right now. That's what they were trying to do. They were being Chucky, and I loved it. I loved it. Johnny.
I'm happy you loved it. I think I'm in the minority here, where I just didn't like this match. I was like, the moment it was announced, I was like, this shit's going to be bad. And then as I'm watching, like, this shit is fucking bad. Kind of as Justice point, like, I was like, the fuck are you doing? Just go for his fucking eye. Just keep hitting with the goddamn chair. Pop it the fuck out. And I'm just like, this shit's taking too long. And so I'm kind of in that boat. And then honestly, like, and again, my whole thing was, I will be okay with this if Rey Mysterio gets blind in both eyes, and for the rest of the year wrestles like Daredevil, where he's filling around the ring and shit like that. But no, I didn't get that either. So like, yeah. But I will give him credit though. Like, I guess it was cringeworthy because like when he started going over that, I was like, ugh. So I guess it got that out of me. Like, ugh. But I was like, yeah.
I want to say about this. So the first things first, we can't blame Vince Russo for this booking idea, guys. So for all you guys that shit on Vince Russo, this wasn't a Vince Russo idea. Two, on the TWC show, we were talking about maybe this would be a way to write Rollins off of TV because his wife's pregnant or whatnot, but I guess that's not the case, surprisingly enough. And the third thing I want to point out is, like, what do they have against Rey Mysterio in 2020 that this man's been thrown off roofs, his eyes are being stabbed through steel steps, now it's getting pulled out of his eye? Like, what are they going to do next? Is Rey Mysterio going to come out with an amputated leg? Like, what is next? Like, they're killing this guy.
They don't. First of all, give them all the ideas because that's next. But second of all, Rey is bulletproof. You can't do anything. Like, that's what they're showing. Rey cannot be killed off. No matter what you do, you could throw him off a roof. You could gouge his eyes out. You could long dart him against a semi truck in '97. It doesn't matter. Rey Mysterio is bulletproof, and this is why he is the GOAT. This is why he has it on his shirt when he wrestled. It said GOAT. He is the greatest masked wrestler of all time.
But I also think this was a perfect match. Like, I'm not always a big fan of overbooking and stuff, but this where it's, hey, both opponents are trying to take each other's eyes out. This is a messed up situation. This is probably where you probably could have had Buddy Murphy run in, or an Aleister Black, or Humberto, or Owens, or some actually booking stuff, because these guys are trying to rip each other's eyes out. Like, somebody should be trying to stop this. Like,
honestly, that was my thought too. I kept thinking, like, when's Ray's son going to come out? When's Ray won. Now the motherfucker comes out. Worst child ever. That proves he's right there.
Neeson, if you were in a match and someone was trying to pull out your eye and none of us came out there to help you out, I wouldn't want you to call me your friend again.
I would normally agree with you guys on that point if they did that every week for like 6 or 7 weeks on Raw. Like, everybody kept coming out and interfering with these matches. So they needed to have just a one-on-one eye versus eye match. This didn't need to be Son involved. This didn't need to be Buddy Murphy. It didn't need to be anybody else. It didn't need to be nothing. But yes, look, man, I'm for it.
Oh, damn.
All right. Let's move on here. Up next, we had Asuka defending the Raw Women's Championship against Neeson. Run it down. I need all
the boss, the blueprint, the standard, the GOAT, the draw, and now Sasha 2 belts. Ladies and gentlemen, Sasha Banks.
This was the match of the night for me. This felt like an NXT match that I haven't seen in a very long time. These two just nailed it completely. The finish, I actually sent a message in a chat between me, Johnny, and Neeson that said, "Oh no, it's bad now." I don't know if I stand by that, just because it is like they are the annoying ass heels, and what better way to be annoying than to rip a ref's shirt on, put it on, and be like, "You're the champion now." So it didn't take me too much out of it. So I thought this was the match of the night. Banks 2 belts. Let's do this. Sounds good to me. Justin, what are we thinking?
Match of the night for me too. Like I said, like, anything Sasha does is usually the highlight for me. Like I said right off the top of the show, I think when I think of Asuka matches, I do think some of her best matches have been against, people like Sasha Banks, Charlotte, people that actually pose a threat to her, and they killed it, man. They nailed it, just like in 2007. Sasha bumps around for her opponents and makes them look good like nobody else. So that's something, people used to say about Shawn Michaels back in the day too, and I think there's a very strong comparison you can make there. The finish was a little goofy. It was a overbooked and cheesy, 110%, but I think it had to end in a controversial finish to get us to wherever we're getting tomorrow. I still think there's a potential that, that it gets reversed, and that leads to Sasha being upset at Bayley for, messing up the finish and screwing her over. We might match tomorrow on Raw. It's a 3-hour show. They might reverse it and set up a match where something else happens where Bayley messes it up. But at the moment, I'm happy. I'm jovious. I'm so glad that we got Sasha 2 belts, 2 belts Banks showing up tomorrow on Raw. I can't wait for the celebration. There was moments in that match too where they did things where it's like, oh, Asuka was gonna when Bayley came in with the belt and she was gonna hit Asuka back with it, and then you almost were thinking, well, is Asuka gonna duck? Is she gonna hit Bayley? Is she gonna hit Sasha? Like, is this where we're going? But it didn't happen, and there. I know we talk about how annoying the fact that this feud has been slow burning since like 2016, but right now, like, I think because we know it's coming eventually, like, we feel it, and the pandemic kind of messed up. Like, I'm enjoying every little part of this. Even at the end of the Bayley match, there's a screenshot that I put on my post about Extreme Rules right now where there's a point where you see Sasha just looking at Bayley's belt, and it's like, it's there, it's still there. But yeah, go on.
Jimmy in the comments 100% agree, sir.
100%. Without a doubt.
Johnny.
For me, I remember one of my fondest wrestling memories is way back during the Attitude Era, where Austin and Triple H both had like the championship and Intercontinental Championship. They're like sitting down on the couch and they're like, "Hey, you want to become tag champs? Fuck it, yeah." And they just go and do that shit. And that power trip, like, this shit's fucking crazy. What's going to happen? They're getting all the belts. and I was so excited to see where that goes. But as we know, the story ends. Triple H like tore something in his leg. He has to leave for a long time, so they just like patchwork and throw a storyline together, and we never get to see the true fruition of that storyline. And now we get to see it. It's the 2-woman power trip, and I'm so excited to see it. And honestly, the finish of this match was so badass because one, Sasha, when she was like so desperate, slapping Asuka, oh geez, damn, oh waffles, God, and you and you got over there saying, let's telling her like, I need to win. She's like slapping them, they're going back and forth and everything like that.
Yes.
And from the outside, getting involved, and then throws a belt in there. And then the Banks was just so smart. She rolls over on the belt so the ref doesn't see it, so he can use it for later. I was like, this is just fucking phenomenal booking. This is sticking out. This is move for move right here. And then again, I love the whole Attitude Era finish because at first, like, this shit's crazy. But this is part of the reason why I fucking love wrestling. She takes the shirt off the ref, puts it on her damn self, get the fuck out the way. 1, 2, 3, and then after that, Banks is the new women's champion for Raw. Look at that. Look at that. They fucking got it done. She got it done for her best friend. It was fucking awesome. So honestly, like, I can't hate on any of this. It's fucking brilliant. We're going to go to Monday now. We're going to feud. We're going to keep going from there. Kari Zane apparently ain't going fucking nowhere because she keeps coming out. So now we're going to see her in some matches. Yeah, it's about to go down. The next month is going to be hella fun. Decent.
I just like, whew. We've had a tough year. We had a tough 2020. It's been one hell of a year. Everybody in this world has been affected by 2020, starting from January 26th. And I'm not talking about the Rumble. I'm talking about the heinous act that happened on January 26th, 2020, all the way into now. But when I tell you, July 19th, 2020, Sasha Banks, the boss, the blueprint, the standard, became Sasha 2 belts. No matter how you want to describe it, my favorite part of the match was when her and Asuka was checking on each other after that spot in the corner.
Yes.
That to me warmed my heart. You see them rubbing each other's shoulders, and I don't mean to pull the veil and show everybody, but they were checking on each other. She was rubbing Sasha's head, she was rubbing her shoulder, and they kept checking on each other that whole time because they were giving one hell of a match, and they were talking all through that match, and they knew that they were giving one hell of a match, and they were giving their all to each other, and that just shows when two really, really care about work they put in and care about the story they're telling, and really invested. This is the product that you get out of it, right? And the Germans, I cringe. Every German that she gave Sasha, I cringe so hard because Sasha is a damn rubber band, but I know in like 20 years it's going to catch up. But right now she is giving it to us, and I am taking it and holding it close to my heart because you are my boss, you are my blueprint, you are my standard, you are our GOAT, and you are the draw. And now you run all the damn shows. And ladies and gentlemen, Sasha Banks, if she's not the greatest female wrestler on the roster today, and only reason I say greatest is because she's able to affect motion through a promo and through a wrestling match. Asuka is great at a wrestling match. Unfortunately, she does have a language barrier to just put her as she's one of the best female wrestlers to me of modern day.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like Sasha's really found her place when it comes to promo. She's found her footing. She's came a long way. And man, it's not, she can't be touched, man. Like, cause she knows what she's doing. Like, she gets it. Like, she all levels and confident on all levels, man. So look, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I was gonna say, to Johnny's point though, it was the attention to detail in this match that really stood out, that kept you, that storytelling, the little things, like the we're getting so desperate, being like, I need to win this. Like, that's what keeps you into a match, because you're like, oh, now she's getting extra effort. The anger is showing. And not everybody does that. That didn't happen in every other match. Like, there wasn't, it just,
I can't wait to see the fallout of it Monday. I think it was great how it ended. I hit the chat and I told everybody that this was perfect how it ended, because it makes Sasha a real heel. And then it also gives credibility to when Sasha and Bayley do break up. Bayley can say, you wouldn't have won without me.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Sasha, she wouldn't have won without Sasha. Yeah, you wouldn't have been Sasha 2 belts without me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I love it. I love every ounce of this. Yes, the blue spray or the blue mist would have been great, Dingle. It would have been amazing, but that's too smart for the common viewer. It's too smart. But it would have been great. But I think it was amazing that they sprayed the ref.
Yep.
I think it was incredible that they sprayed the ref.
Yeah.
I think that was the perfect way to end it, man. So Monday, look, if Raw doesn't draw a big rating on Monday, I don't know what else. They pulled everything they had to do to draw a huge rating for Raw.
The draw gets longer. Her name is Sasha Banks. They're gonna draw a good number.
Yep.
Hey, man. It's the draw.
Yep.
It's the effing draw.
Yep.
All right.
Low key, to your point, Nismo. Sorry, last thing, like we're running down her resume of like what makes her so great. Part of the reason why I always get angry with like Charlotte and me saying Charlotte's on the top is like, no, Charlotte doesn't lose. She doesn't put over people over. Sasha consistently will lose a match to somebody and put them over to get them to that next level while maintaining her own hotness. And then she'll come back and like win later on. Like these moments would get us so excited. That's always been like my biggest critique of of Charlotte.
Yeah.
That she won't lose, you put somebody else over. But we remember when Asuka came to WWE and Sasha lost to her on Raw, crying in the ring to help put over her legacy she was running towards that WrestleMania match. And now that she's won this belt, it's just so fucking relieving, and just 2 thumbs up for her. Props to Sasha.
Yeah, but did she put over Mia Ripley? Rhea? Did she put over Rhea? No. Did she put over
Rhea? Oh, okay, I got what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, did she put over Rhea Ripley? Did she put over Mia Yim? No, she didn't. So she was at NXT to do what? But Sasha Banks, Io Shirai. She definitely did that. But anyways, the Boston Blueprint to Standard. Let's go next.
All right. So up next, we had a WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, where Dolph Ziggler picked the stipulations, and somebody's got to work on their improv, Dolph, because holy moly.
He's a stand-up comic. He's a stand-up comic.
I know.
You know, I love fired up Pingo.
Poor Dolph Ziggler.
I mean, it was a smart set of rules where it was only Extreme Rules for Dolph Ziggler, and then he started adding on like 18 other things, and I get it, but also if you could have won the championship by countout, why didn't you have some handcuffs, brother?
100%.
Anyway, besides that, this match was very good. Like I said at the top of the show, the finish was hot. Holy moly, what a Claymore kick. And I thoroughly enjoyed this, despite me making fun of Dolph Ziggler. But Justin, what'd you think of the match?
It was the announcement of the stipulation at first was just as underwhelming as when Rich Swann came out at Slammiversary and where everyone was like, "What?" But it was good. It ended up being a good match, and the Claymore was sick. And I think just point blank, we all knew inevitably like Dolph wasn't going to win, so it was a good match for what we knew. And Drew continues to look strong. I don't think there's much else to say. Like Drew continues to look strong.
Yeah.
Made him look good. It was fun. It was stupid. It was fun. It was a nice little break between a very big moment with Sasha where we need to wind down and then going into the swamp match where we needed to connect with our imagination a little bit. So it was good. I enjoyed it.
Johnny?
Fuck, I gotta be real. I fucking love this match on all levels. Like, I get that Dolph's like improvisation. Like, yeah, Dolph can't act worth a damn. I'm just like, Dolph, just fucking wrestle. Dolph, because you can't sell shit, but damn, you can sell in the ring though with your body and your storytelling. And honestly, when he came out and announced the stipulation, I was like, this shit's fucking genius. Well played. Chess moves right here. It's like, I have all the Extreme Rules advantage. You don't. And even then, it's like, also the champion's advantage is also taken away because if you get counted out, I win. If you hit me and get disqualified, I win. I was like, this little bitch has covered all his bases. There's no way he can lose. But it's Dolph. Of course he's going to lose. But at the same time, it's a hell of a ride. It's a hell of a ride. I enjoyed myself. Like, I'll be real. If this match happened in June, I could see him winning. and then losing it back to him in July. So that way he goes to SummerSlam, because we know what SummerSlam comes about. Like Brock could come back, some crazy shit could happen. Who knows what's going to happen to come SummerSlam. Somebody's big coming back for this. But again, I loved it. The storytelling was dope. It had me on the edge of my seat. You saw fucking Drew's like frustration to make sure he didn't like get counted out or injure him or put him to a table at all these dope spots, and it was like fucking awesome. And then I love that last spot where he does the famouser, then the zigzag, then a zigzag on a chair, and still can't get the win. And he gets frustrated, starts tossing chairs. I'm like, calm down, you son of a bitch. Just beat him with the chair. Beat him like, oh, Rock. Just stab him with the fucking chair. Get the win, dog. Get the win. But no, he fucks it up for himself. And then, of course, boom, leg slap, Claymore, 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre's legacy continues. So honestly, it was surprising. I did not expect to like this match as much. Shout out to him. It was dope. And it was good. I was pleasantly surprised. I was not expecting this.
It was like playing a video game with your younger sibling or cousin or a friend that doesn't know how to play the game. And you're like, okay, you can have all the finishers and all the extreme rules and stuff, and I'll still beat you. And then it ends up being such a funny, dumb match because this person's trying to attack you with chairs and stuff, and you're just dodging them and trying to do what you can. Like, it just ended up being fun because of that. The stipulation ended up making it fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yes. Actually, it's funny that Jimmy just said this because this is where I was going with the match. It just pissed me off, man. Like, that shouldn't have been Dolph Ziggler. If you're gonna have somebody that you wanted somebody to actually think that he was going to lose, it was no point that I thought Dolph Ziggler was going to lose the match, especially once he started kind of rattling off the rules or the stipulations, right? Like, I was like, oh, like, yeah, you're gonna lose, man. Like, this is because now you're trying. It's such a trope of forcing. You want to talk about forcing something down our throats? Like, you're really going overboard trying to put Drew McIntyre over. He has to overcome all these obstacles to beat Dolph Ziggler when it wasn't really even a build up for it. It's not like he like got blindside attacked for weeks and all these other things. It was that he just came out and said, "Give me what you owe me."
Should have been.
And so, yeah, and
which
so
is like, who said you were owed anything? You've gotten so many title shots.
Exactly, and you haven't capitalized it. So even you have like the Rock commenting on, "Yeah, I'm down for that. Like, I'm for this win." Blase, what he said on a WWE Instagram site. And that made me think even more like, man, he's really going to lose. I want Dolph Ziggler to win, but he's really going to lose. And so why have Dolph Ziggler be what? Like, you have to have him win at some point. It's like like he has to win. He's been saying this, like, I keep losing every big chance I get. I'm going to have to win at some point or people are not going to care. And hi, my name is Neeson, and I'm one of the people that don't care.
He's
like, I really don't.
Robber.
And I don't, man. So, like, yes, as much as this match was really great, in no way, shape, or form was I invested as I was in Sasha versus Asuka, and not because she's the boss, the blueprint, the standard, the GOAT, the draw. No, but because it's really like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Because there's so many different ways this could go. Granted, Kyrie did say I want a future title shot, so that's how I think like Sasha's. It's whatever, but I get that. But us giving that swerve at the end and how they did it, like, give us something like that. We know Randy Orton is waiting in the wings for Drew McIntyre. Fine, we know that, but give us something. Give us meaning like the people in the know, the internet wrestling fans. Give us some type of swerve or something to make us think that, oh wait, maybe they're not going towards that. It wouldn't hurt Dolph Ziggler to lose the title for a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, Bobby Roode return and helps. You're right. You could have had. What happened to Big Show and Randy Orton? Was that not a match?
It happens tomorrow.
It's on Monday. It's on Monday. So I'm just, it's a lot that it is a lot, man. And I just think, I think the match was great, but it just didn't have my attention because I knew the outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad because I remember Dolph Ziggler re-signed with WWE like a year or two ago, and they gave him that huge contract for like $5 million, like 5 years and shit. And I was like, damn, really? In the moment he signed that contract, I was like, you just signed away to jobbing for 5 years because they don't use you right at all.
if someone's won the title, Dolph is the guy they feed him to have one of those rounds. Whether it was Dean Ambrose, whether it was Kofi Kingston, whether it's Drew McIntyre, Dolph's the feeder. Dolph's the guy they're gonna throw it to because they're like, hey, people still for some reason think that he's gonna win. Gonna come out of this like some hero, and it's never going to happen. But he sells it on it well enough. As much bad as acting is, it should have been me. Like he sells it on it well enough. It never happens, and I'm okay with that. I realize he's pretty much just like a highly valued jobber.
Yep.
For some reason, it sucks people in.
Yep.
I got one question before we move off of this. Is Miz a glorified Dolph Ziggler, or is Dolph Ziggler a glorified Miz?
They're probably equal now. I think there's a point they could have put the belt back on Miz, like kind of during that feud with Shane and everything that was going on. He has so much momentum, but John Morrison's a highly valued jobber now too. They just got a bunch of them. That whole crew of friends.
No, I don't.
I think
I wouldn't say John Morrison, but go ahead.
I was gonna say to answer your question. I think Dolph Ziggler is a glorified Miz in a way because I think Miz is above Dolph Ziggler because Miz has more of the success outside of WWE than Dolph Ziggler wants. Like in every fucking facet of his life. Like one, he has the Miz and Miz's show that they're doing, which is amazing. He also fucking like is a real estate guru and shit like that, flipping houses left and right. He's got a fucking family that's like blossoming and everything like that.
And you can't take away Mrs. Reign as champion was legit. He main evented WrestleMania.
And they put him in movies. He's been like all 4 fucking Marine movies and shit like that or whatever. Miz is fucking killing it. Six Marines, sorry. Even when he's getting yelled at for playing video games by his wife, which is fucking amazing.
The best.
Even when he does, the son of a bitch comes out looking good. So yeah, it's like
his wife. When he had his wife managing him, Dolph can't have that.
Yeah.
You're damn right. You're damn right, Ice Cube Jr. She is the best ref in the business because when you count 1, 2, 3 for the GOAT, the boss, the blueprint, the draw, the standard, Sasha Banks, that's what makes you. You know, I might as well call her Ice. Because I see the Dean Malenko shirt that she got on and the Ice Cold Dean Malenko. That just reminded me of WCW World Tour, by the way. So, anyways, that's what she needs to take on next. That should be her new persona.
I really hope tomorrow at some point. I know it's stupid and like campy and cheesy, but at some point, whether it's a backstage interview or in the ring, I want Bayley to like lie and be like she got her ref's license online or something.
Oh my god.
Something stupid where she's like, no, I am a certified referee. Like I took the course. Like,
yes, I would love that. Would be great. That would be amazing.
She's like, I know all the rules. I do it as a side hustle on the weekend.
Like a referee handbook that she owns it or something. Like,
all right, guys, let's move on to the main event, I guess. Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt in a Wyatt swamp fight, swamp match, swamp thing. This wasn't great. I did pop when it was revealed that Sister Abigail or whomever that was supposed to be was Alexa Bliss. I thought that was very funny. But it feels like they tried to combine the Boneyard match with the Firefly Funhouse match, but then somewhere down the line they realized there's not as rich of a history for Braun Strowman as there is John Cena. So I kind of see this as a failure. It had some all right moments, but What do we think?
I didn't hate it.
I think they're gonna. I think he got dumped in the lakes, the pure lakes of Lake Minnetonka, and he's gonna come out purified, and he's letting his hair grow, and now he's gonna be the black sheep again. And now that's going to cause him to lose the title. At least that's what I'm hoping, because it just didn't make any sense. And I need some type of story to go off with this until Roman Reigns gets back and actually holds the title. So we get Roman Reigns versus The Fiend as we were supposed to be getting. So, you know, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Braun. Take those hands somewhere else.
Wow.
For me, I honestly I wasn't looking forward to this match, and I was like very confused by it because like, how the fuck do you win? It's kind of like how the fuck do you win this match? It's like at one point Braun shows up and knocks out Braun. I'm like, so does he retain? Because I'm confused. And so,
read the comment. Read the comment, Johnny.
the farm fight seemed like it was led by the crew who shot the Battle of Winterfell. Damn.
Yeah, very true.
Well done, Jimmy. Well done. Well done, Jimmy. Well done.
Yo, that's hilarious.
And so there are moments of this match that I like. Like I liked how Bray, because I was always confused how Bray came back. So I love when Braun Strowman trees going that rain. It's like, do you know what I've been through? Do you know what he was like when you're not controlling your body? You're watching from the outside and stuff like that. I was like, oh shit, that's interesting. So like that Bray's not in control of the Fiend. He's just watching from the outside, playing. All right, that's kind of cool. That's interesting. To John's point, I love when Alexa Bliss showed up and it was like, we always meant to be together. Blah blah blah. I was like, oh shit. Okay, this is kind of interesting. But again, goes back to my point. Is like, how the fuck do you win this match? Like, it doesn't make any sense. There's no ref there. It's not like you throw somebody in the grave. It's like, how do you win this match? And so that led to the ending, which is like super weird. I would have loved it if Braun had like somehow beat Bray. Bray loses. He gets in his truck. He drives off. He leaves Bray in the water, like drowned. We think Bray's dead. And then out comes the Fiend. And it's like, oh, cool. The next match in the trilogy will be Braun versus the Fiend, and that's when he'll lose the belt or like something will happen or whatever. But instead, we get this weird ending where it's like, did he win? Did he lose? I have no fucking idea what happened right now. And like, was it for the belt? Is the belt changed? Like, I really don't know because at the end the Fiend comes out. So I'm like, does that mean Bray won? So honestly, this match left me more confused than anything. Nice.
It was a fight.
I knew right off the bat though. Like, I'm like, when we did our predictions on the other show, I'm like, there can't be a clean ending to this either way because look at all the cinematic matches. Like, I guess you can say technically the Boneyard match is a buried alive match, but that was never really explained to us.
Yeah.
The Firefly Funhouse never really had an ending. Sure, someone got pinned. Like, these cinematic matches don't ever really have clear endings unless it's like the Money in the Bank. We've seen multiple deaths in these matches. AJ Styles in the club died. Aleister Black and Rey Mysterio died. I think John Cena died. I can't tell you yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I remember making the prediction. I'm like, well, someone's gonna like be murdered on TV at the end of this. Like, that's how these end. Like, that's these cinematic murder. And someone's gonna go into the swamp and they're gonna drown. Like, that's how it's gonna end. Like, I already called it. I thought it was gonna be Bray because that's why the Fiend comes back. Doing it to Braun doesn't make much sense to me. It throws me a little off. I also love the conversation Bray was having about how he's not in control of his body and he's having these out-of-body experiences and someone's controlling him. Then I'm like, man, are we going to one day get a cinematic match of Bray Wyatt versus The Fiend? Like, how are they going to pull that off?
Hey, they did Undertaker versus Undertaker.
Yeah, I guess so. And then I popped for the Alexa Bliss part. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I think we all went through the same thought process. We're like, oh, Sister Abigail's talking. But I was like, yo, Sister Abigail sounds way too young of a girl. And like, she sounds too normal, too regular to be Sister Abigail. Then it was Alexa Bliss. And I was like, oh, that's such a funny, small little tidbit.
Yeah.
So, wrestling fans that like know about the mixed match challenge and stuff, like we get that. And it was funny and it was cool to see. It wasn't Sister Abigail. It was just to kind of, mess with Braun's mind and stuff. I enjoyed it. It wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the worst. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I think, once again, they're only going to really be able to do this kind of stuff right now because of the coronavirus pandemic and stuff. And maybe once in a blue moon in the future on a pay-per-view like Extreme Rules, they can get away with something like this. But Ron Funches tweeted, he's like, I miss professional wrestling, and this isn't it, something along those lines. And I kind of get that because sometimes you kind of like, man, I didn't kind of want to see like a really good wrestling match. This is a movie. I don't know. I'm also not a big fan of the Braun Strowman title run. I forget he's champion half the time. It's the most boring thing in the world.
Yeah.
I don't care. They should have done back in 2017.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you want to say something, Johnny, sometime.
They waited too long. They waited too long on that for sure. And now it just kind of feels like they're only doing it because he's available. He's doing the get these hands thing.
Forget these hands. That's what it is. Forget these hands.
They should just put the belt back on Kofi. I'm just
yeah, they should have.
Yeah.
All right.
We were watching, like I forgot who's champion too. I was like, wait, who's the SmackDown champion? It took me a minute to remember.
Brutal.
All right, let's move on to NXT. We had a NXT Women's Championship match headlining the show. Io Shirai defending against Tegan Nox. Wow, I really, really enjoyed this match. I'm not sure. I kind of would have liked to see Tegan win, and then see the ending we had seen with Dakota Kai coming out and hitting Io. I would have liked to see that, because then it's like, oh, you're the champion now. Now it's my turn to come in and get this done. But I thought this was a great match.
Hi, Tegan.
Yeah, hi, Tegan. Io retains. Justin, what'd you think?
It's too early to take the belt off Io. She's hot right now. She just won the belt in your house. She just beat Sasha. She's beat Tegan. She's building that resume. I'm not against a triple threat feud with Dakota, Tegan, and Io, though. I don't want to see Tegan out of the title picture yet. I think people have a really good fight, and I'm a huge Tegan fan. Out of those three girls, like, I like Tegan the most. Out of Tegan, Io, and Dakota, I think a triple threat feud between the three would be amazing moving forward. It was a great match, though. I still enjoyed Sasha versus Io more, but that's like, I don't even know why I'm comparing the two, but both matches are good.
Hey,
I can't wait to Tegan versus Sasha, though. That'd be money.
That would be money.
That would give me some.
Johnny, what do you think of this match here?
One sec. Oh, okay, there we are. Honestly, I really like this match. Earlier, I was talking about how Nikki Cross had a coming out party with her match, but I felt this one really showed off Tegan, because, man, her feud with Dakota Kai was cool, but I kind of felt like you say, iron sharpens iron. You wrestle the best comes out of you type deal. And in here, I saw a lot of versatility and a lot of moves from Tegan that I've never saw before, and it really put me over as a Tegan fan. Like, I love the technical wrestling that was been done at the beginning, the grounded stuff and everything like that, the reversals, which is really cool. And it was weird, because, like, I'm used to seeing the WWE style, and we reverse, and then we stand up and, like, the cloud applause or whatever. But this was like going a little bit more deeper into it, and it was getting really technical, and it was really fun to see. And then I love the physicality of the match that was happening throughout, like, them like really putting bodies on the line here. Io running her knees into like the guardrail, throwing each other and whatnot. Then at the end of the match, you see Tegan's even bleeding a little bit from this. And so, honestly, I really love this match. It really got me over as a Tegan fan. I really want to see more stuff with Tegan. And to Justin's credit, I totally agree that it's too early to take the belt off Io right now, because she is so fucking hot, so fucking good. And so I really want to see her have a nice little title run to, like, get a chance to, like, show up against everybody. And so, again, I'd be up for seeing that triple threat match later on. Maybe, again, a fatal four-way or some of those lines. But all in all, it was a great match. Both women came out looking strong. Tegan, I'm looking forward to seeing more from her in the future.
Neeson?
Man. Well, we all know. Hi, Tegan. Hi, Tegan. We all know why. I say Tegan's amazing. She's great. Io Shirai, great. It was a great match, and I'm just sad that it was so early. I wish we would have got it a little later in the feud, I guess, between them, in the program between them, just because we could have built it up to maybe a takeover match. I'm kind of interested to see where this goes. I know we're going to get Dakota Kai, and I know that I feel like Dakota Kai should have came first, and then we could have got a Tegan on the back end. Just because I didn't want her to lose yet. Like, I didn't want that. Like, I was sad. I know Io is too early for her to lose, but goddamn, man. But again, this proves WWE has the best females roster in professional wrestling. Although Impact, they got a nice roster.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
What is happening?
I don't know.
When I was Family Guy, that was a Family Guy bit. They do that.
Yeah, and Ian in the chat mentioning that Karrion Kross sent in a little message to Keith Lee here. That's where we're headed. I think this is going to be. I'm excited to see Karrion Kross versus old Donnie Dijak here. I think that should be a lot of fun too. But let's keep this train moving along here. Let's go to AEW now. Well, we had this match. I actually really, before we get there, I really enjoyed this setup here with Keith Lee and Dijakovic, where we had the promo at the beginning where he calls out Dijakovic and says, you were a part of this too, so I'm going to give you your shot. And they had a pretty good match as well. But at this point, I want that to be it for a while. I can't. Please stop. Please stop.
Yeah.
I love both of them as wrestlers. I love watching them wrestle each other, but just please stop for now.
There's a point in NXT without the Undisputed Era and Velveteen Dream. There's something missing in the men's division. I feel it already.
It's going to be very strange to see what happens over the next couple of weeks here.
I will
especially Velveteen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, big time. I will say, John, I also like that promo he cut at the beginning, too, because he gave respect to Donnie, but he also gave respect to, like, his trainer, who he gave a little huge shout out to, was like, you were more than a trainer. You were like a father to me. Like, you believed me, no one else did. I love when he gave the shout out to the fans and everything like that, who've been with him from back before he came to WWE and NXT in a way. So, like, yeah, the whole promo was, like, really fucking awesome. It was a nice victory party for him.
Good stuff. All right, let's move on to AEW here. Guys, we got to talk about Sonny Kiss, because how in the hell is Sonny Kiss not on television every week? That's what I need to know. We opened the show with Sonny Kiss taking on Cody for the TNT championship there. All of our AEW pictures this week are brought to us by AEW. So shout out to them. There you go. There's a nice little thing being dropped there.
One of the Micro Girls, because that dance at the beginning was great.
Loved it.
Yes. Speaking of AW pictures, so they're so big that the platform that we're using right now could not fit all of them because they're so crisp and clean. They're so HD. So shout out to AEW, man, for actually allowing us to have legit pictures that now I gotta figure out how another platform to host these pictures on, because they don't take files over 10 megabytes. So everything is like 20 megabytes. So the ones we do have, we're gonna use. The ones not, sorry, but Sonny
Kiss out there doing a dance routine in over 90-degree weather and then wrestling a banger of a match to open the show. Very impressed. Every time Sonny's on television, I go, why is Sonny Kiss not on television every week? I guess being in a tag team with Janela kind of helps that, because we know they really, really love to be in the tag team division. This is an interesting picture.
Why does Arn look so pissed?
Exactly. Why does Arn Anderson look so pissed off? And why did Arn Anderson, for most of this match, he was disagreeing with things that Cody was doing? And another thing that I found very interesting about this match is we cut to Tully Blanchard a whole hell of a lot. What's Tully doing there? Every time something was kind of a miss, I believe when he took the turnbuckle pad off, we cut to Tully. After the match ended, we cut to Tully. There was a lot of cutting to Tully, and I think
we're coming back soon. We're getting the 4 Horsemen. I'm joking.
No. My theory as of right now.
Cut down that aisle, baby.
The theory that I have right now is we are going to get a new. We probably can't call them the 4 Horsemen, but whatever. We're going to get a new faction. It's going to be FTR. It's going to be Cody, and it's going to be Hangman Page. And they'll be managed by those old brain busters, Tully and Arn.
Let's make rounds. I think it's going to be FTR. I think it has to be Shawn Spears because he's still there.
That's true.
It's going to be FTR, Shawn Spears, and it's going to be Cody. But what's going to happen is Cody's going to get kicked out of his own group, and Kenny Omega's taking over. Not Kenny Omega promos, but a cleaner Kenny Omega leading a group of guys. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think we're seeing something here where a lot of the elite guys are kind of getting tired of either not being the main person. So we're going to get some splinter groups here, especially with Omega acting the way he did. But let's talk more about this TNT championship match. Justin, what did you think of it opening the show on Wednesday here?
I thought it was great. It was a great way to open the show. They started off hot. You know, I no disrespect to Keith Lee, and I'm a promo guy. Like, I love promos, and I think that AEW doesn't cut enough promos in the ring and stuff. Like, when's the last time we heard Cody speak? And Cody's great at speaking. Give us some more promos. But
yeah.
Kicking it off with the TNT title match, and you look on the other side, and they're cutting a promo, and it's Keith Lee and Donovan Dijak for the 10 millionth thousandth time. Watching Sonny Kiss versus Cody Rhodes. It was a really good match. Like I said, I really enjoyed the dance at the beginning. I'd be down for some Dynamite girls, giving us some breaks in the middle of the show. I'm with it. Gave me some Nitro memories. I think there was some sloppy moments, but that's okay. Like, clearly these two haven't worked with each other a ton. There's layers of storytelling happening here, with Arn getting upset over certain things, with Sunny Kiss getting really close to victory, with Cody doing a lot of heelish things. Why I feel like Cody's going to be involved with this initially, but there's a lot of heel Cody being shown here.
Yeah.
Out of the ordinary. And overall, it was a good match. I enjoyed it. I think it was a good showing. It sucks because what do you do now? Like, after Sunny has an outing like this, you'd expect Sunny to do something really cool, but
yeah,
that doesn't seem to be the case. And that's the only problem I have with. There's two problems I have with this whole Cody TNT thing. One, he keeps having great matches with people that don't really do anything after they have a great match with him. And two, he doesn't really have. I know they're probably slowly growing into that now. It looks like it, but I feel like since the Lance Archer thing, like, we haven't had a proper Cody feud.
Yeah, he's just having matches.
Yeah, there's no one that really hates Cody. I want someone that hates him. Like, I want an MJF or a Lance. I want someone that's like F Cody. Why isn't anyone like hating on this guy, wanting that belt because they just dislike Cody Rhodes? It's like he's just having good matches.
Johnny, what'd you think of the match?
Honestly, same thing. It was a good match. Anytime Sonny's on TV, like, I'm happy. Like, I'm just like, fuck yeah, Sonny, represent. And honestly, like, it's funny. It's like every time I look at Sonny, it kind of reminds me of, like, WWE, like 4 years ago, taught about like representing more LGBTQI like wrestlers and whatnot. But one of the things I like about AEW is that they don't say shit; they just fucking do it, and it's like fucking dope to see. And so I know WWE has that going for them now, but I'm always going to give kudos to AEW for just always just saying fucking pull the trigger so fast and a lot of different things, which was super dope. The match was dope, and I see them building something here, kind of like you said with Arn looking frustrated with Kenny, with Cody and everything like that, and the stuff happening and whatnot. I see them getting ready to bubble and build something because we know, like, they have the ratings war going on right now with SummerSlam around the corner. They're going to start building up some stuff too so they can compete with things that are coming up with WWE. So I know they're building. I'm just excited to see what's coming to come from this in the next coming weeks. But all in all, it was a dope match. I'm loving the open challenge, but to Justice Point, the classic, like, yeah, it's like it would be dope to see these people do something afterwards. You do this awesome match with Cody. Cool. Now you're going to this feud, or something else is happening for you, or something else is taking off. Please.
Sunny is incredible. I wish I can agree with you about AEW not saying they're touting themselves, because that's all they do. They sound like insecure boyfriend in a relationship. But that's all they do. They've been talking about inclusion. They have the most inclusive roster ever. That's what they've been talking about the whole time. I'm happy now that they're actually utilizing the inclusion that they have, because I mean, you have the two people. If you were casually scrolling through channel surfing, as the old people would say, as the boomers would say, if you were channel surfing, the two people that's going to catch your eye on AEW is one, Orange Cassidy, two, Sunny. The two people, that's the two. Oh, you're going to stop. No matter what, you're going to stop. Like, because, and to have them both featured on this show, I think this is what they need more. This is what they need more of. I think they need to find a way to show the things that they've been doing on Dark with Janela and Sunny. I like the little vignettes, the little movie vignettes, the action little shorts they've been doing. Those are really, really good. I think put those into a story. Man, because they really have something. I'm happy for the match. I love all the theories on Cody. I'm just need something, as we talked about last week. I feel like Cody is playing wrestler, and to give him something to actually sink his teeth into, he won't be playing wrestler anymore. But yeah, Sunny, I'm for it.
And actually, low-key, I agree with you. My bad, because I forgot about when they first launched. They were really on that inclusion angle for like a long-ass time. And that was
forever.
Like, so, my bad. I forgot about that shit. So, yeah, you're right. They were hardcore.
And I say that not just saying that because people are, that's just one thing. No, I'm actually also talking about ratings as well. They also they harp on they got Jericho doing a whole demo god. So I mean, but this is a thing that Tony Khan has hopped on right after things air to be like, yeah, well, we did great in this. Like, yeah, they may have beat us, but we did. Like, their leader is doing this. It's not just the demo god. If it was just the demo god, I'd be like, cool. But this is just who they feel they are. They're the little brother that feels like they have to be like, no, but we're just as equals. And it's like, you don't have to say it to be equal. Don't gotta say it.
You just gotta do it.
Just gotta do it.
If you guys if they want to joke about it on Twitter and go back and forth with Sasha and Jericho, I'm with it. Bringing it to your TV show, I know it was tongue in cheek and it was meant to be ironic and stuff, but personally, I'm like, it comes off petty when it's on the television show.
Ding 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 ding.
It on social media and stuff, and you guys are joking around, and Sasha's like, I'm the draw, and then Jericho's like demographics. Then I'm like, okay, whatever. It's Twitter, nobody cares. This is for the internet to buzz anyways. Like, it's funny to watch.
Right.
Television, it's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you talking about the demos on television and stuff? And I get like Jericho can get away with it. It's cool, and I get it's supposed to be like tongue in cheek, but it's just like it comes off petty for someone that's watching both shows and trying to like actually be like, well, look at this show. Like, nobody brought up on NXT. You didn't hear anyone talk about the demos and the ratings of NXT because professionally, you just wouldn't do that, And this is a whole different topic. I also don't like the fact that Tony Khan's always talking about it. You don't see Vince McMahon out there talking about the ratings when they're bad or good. You don't see Triple H talking about the ratings when they're bad or good, unless he's like on a call when they're asked about it, like
Right.
Then they're like, well, they'll address it, but they don't address it otherwise. I just think don't like just. What most people like when they think of something that is cool, the coolest thing of being cool is not showing that things affect you or they're playing with your mind. Everything that affects AEW, and they have to talk about it. Like, just, hey, you guys watch the ratings? Let's not talk about it. Who cares? We're gonna kill them in a couple of weeks. No, let's address it. Our demos, though, the demo that, like, no, man, why are you getting so
the demo god?
It's just, I'm not with it. Both shows are great.
Yeah,
I'm just not with it.
Let's move on to I guess we all have to say, Johnny, you were right. You were right. Nyla Rose has a new manager. And it is one Vicky Guerrero. I'll just say right now,
I like being right.
The Vicky Guerrero entrance theme, I am in love with it.
It's the best entrance theme that AEW has. How did that happen? How?
It's a banger. It is a certified.
Oh my god! Excuse me. Oh my god! That whoever did redo everybody's intros in AEW. How does Orange Cassidy have that whack ass intro, and then Orange Cassidy, the wackest like Casio computer or keyboard guitar riff sample ever? It's like 8-bit guitar riff, and you have Vicky Guerrero with this dope ass like sample hip hop deep bass cut joint. That, oh my god! I thought I was the only one, so I'm happy that you said that, Pingo.
Oh, I love it. No, you were not. You were not the only one.
It's too early to tell, but as of right now, not a fan of this pairing. I think with a lot of the women on that roster, you put Vicky Guerrero, and I like that Vicky Guerrero's on the roster and she's managing someone, but you put her with someone that technically can hold their own and talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Compared to the other women on this roster that might not be comfortable enough to talk yet, can't really translate into English properly as well as yet.
Right.
But you put her with Nyla Rose, who can talk, and can hold her own. That throws me off. Like, I get the pairing, it looks cool, like whatever, but and also, why does Nyla Rose need someone to manage her? Like, I get it, but like I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, like Loki. This was. Oh, sorry. But
that's pretty much where we were last week, where we didn't understand why Nyla needed a manager.
Yeah, because that's again, that's what I was saying. Because again, Nyla can talk, she can do all these great things. She's already number one contender. A lot of times, you give someone a manager who's working their way up the roster, or someone who's new or whatnot. So her being paired with Nyla doesn't make any sense because she's technically has the best record, but records don't mean shit. And so she should just be number one contender, just get the championship match at the next pay per view or whatever. And so pairing her with Ricky's like, why?
Yeah, like in the point, you're right. Like it's you need a manager when you're introducing a new character to a new roster. Like when Cornette came in with Vader or Yokozuna or something, or if someone's been on a losing streak and someone's trying to help them turn it around, like the MVP Lashley situation. Like there are situations where a manager makes sense. Taz or Brian Cage made sense because they started off together. They came in as a package.
Mm-hmm.
She's already been killing it. She can talk. She's already won the championship. She's a monster. She knows how to get herself a title shot if she wanted it. Why does she need a manager? I don't know.
I don't know. Let's move on to the main event of AEW this past week. It was the FTW champion Brian Cage taking on the AEW world champion Jon Moxley. Didn't really care for the match in general. There's Mox wearing his Danny Havoc tribute shirt. I thought that was really cool. But the match overall, I don't know, it just didn't really do anything for me. And then we got to the finish before Darby came back, which I think is great. The finish of this match was very strange to me because, I was recording a podcast earlier today, Tornado Tag Radio, and my co-host Marianne brought up to me, this is like the 15th time we've done the throw the towel gimmick in AEW's short history.
With MJF and Cody, I forgot about that.
They did it with MJF and Cody, and I feel like they might have done it, or they teased it another time. And I can't remember what it is because I feel like we had spoken about it on this show before.
Wasn't it Jericho? They didn't do it with Jericho? Was it Jericho? No.
I can't remember, but I know they did it another time. So this is the third time in less than a year that they have done this throwing in the towel gimmick. And I absolutely hate it. I don't know what favors this did for Brian Cage.
MJF and Jericho, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was going to know it was Jericho versus Cody.
Yeah.
Cody, yeah.
I was going to correct you, but I was letting Ringo finish because I got a lot to say about this whole towel throwing in situation and everything.
Yeah, so let's just get to it, Justin, because I'm confused and I want to know what your thoughts are.
I like Jon Moxley. I'm a Moxley fan. I think him being a badass and all that is great. I don't think Moxley gave Brian Cage enough offense to make Brian Cage look like a star at the end of this. You know what I mean? Like, we should have had Brian Cage beat the living crap out of Moxley until Moxley like snuck away with the victory. Having Moxley keep him down to a point where like Brian Cage wasn't gonna, because everyone's like, oh no, it protects Brian Cage. Because Brian Cage wouldn't have submitted. He wouldn't have tapped out. He would have probably passed out. He would have got injured, and that's why Taz threw in the towel. I'm like, no, I don't give a crap what you say. Like, it makes Brian Cage look dumb. It just makes it look dumb. And like, I don't want to see Brian Cage and Taz split up already. So I hope we're not going that route because I like them together. Because I actually do think Taz does a lot for Brian Cage.
Yes.
I think there could have been a way where you could have like Brian Cage just whooping Moxley and Moxley. This would have been a perfect time for someone to win with a small package out of nowhere with luck or something. You know what I mean? Or you could have done it in some sense where like maybe, you know, Moxley got the 3 count while Brian Cage's foot was on the rope, but the ref didn't see it or something. There's so many other ways you could have went where this would have protected Brian Cage in a different way than they did it. Because now I'm just like, you're basically saying Moxley beat the crap out of him to the point where Brian Cage was locked in a submission move where he was going to pass out and that Taz was throwing the towel to protect his investment. That's what you're saying. How does that make Brian Cage look or seem any more cool going forward? Oh, Moxley got him to Moxley, who once again, I like Moxley, got him to the point where Brian Cage was either going to have his arm broken or pass out, so Taz threw in the towel. It still makes him look weak. It doesn't, and I don't, like, you keep bringing in guys. We did it with the Brody thing, like, it was cool, you know what I mean? Like, it took 3 paradigm shifts to take Brody out, but, like, it didn't do anything for Brody after the fact, you know? Moxley is doing the same thing with Cage now. Like, maybe if they did that, maybe we hit him with a couple of paradigm shifts and Cage kicked out and it looked like he wasn't going to beat him and then something. Like, I just wasn't with it. I didn't like the ending. I think this doesn't help Brian Cage at all. I actually would have been okay with Brian Cage winning the belt and going on the long run. Like, Moxley is one of those guys I also agree. Like, I enjoy him chasing the title more than him actually being the champion. And I feel like that about a lot of people. I wasn't a fan of this at all. I think Moxley should have gave Brian more offense. They should have made Brian look more dominant, and they could have had a way different finish with the same result that protected both guys.
I'm gonna keep it short because we're running low on time and everything like that. But like, I agree with everything the classic just said. Like when I saw this going through, because we were talking about it last week, it was like, yeah, you guys kind of wrote yourselves into a corner. There's nothing you can do with this. Nisa pointed out last week that you can't put the belt on him because, again, you can't have him being like the face of the company right now because the media and like all these type of different things possibly. But at the same time, though, you can't again because you're trying to build him up. You can't have him lose like this. So what's the compromise? You said the compromise throwing the towel. But as Classic just pointed out, he still comes off looking weak. And it's like, the fuck you're going to do now? Now you're going to go to this feud with Darby Allin? It's like, you guys didn't know what you were doing. You were putting this from the get-go. You didn't think about the ending of this. You just started and figured it would kind of work itself out, but it didn't. And that kind of needs what they need to do going forward. Let's think about how do they want things to end and kind of go from there. But then it feels like they didn't think about that. Maybe the Vid situation threw that off, but I can't see how that happened. But, yeah, it didn't feel like they actually thought this one through. Nice.
It was bad. Like, I like the intensity that Moxley had. You can tell he has a chip on his shoulder with losing his friend, plus the whole COVID thing, plus he's being a champion it's his time to shine. He worked this hard and left a company a year ago for this moment. And unfortunately, just due to life, he got dealt these cards. So I feel bad for him. You can see it in his eyes that, he's trying to do the best he can, but this is not it. You don't feed him Brian Cage. That you just don't do it. Like, you don't. And now you have to look at, like, somebody threw the towel in for Brian Cage. Like, really? Like, I'm supposed to look at this guy as a monster, as a big threat, and somebody threw the towel in for him.
Survive him if you can.
Survive him if you can. Let you whatever.
Survived him. Brian Cage couldn't survive Moxley.
So I don't. So just the end of this, and this is how you end fight. This is how you end your big 3 week run. It shows you that AEW still, they have a lot of good things, but they're not great yet. And I think they, the things that are great, they're not putting on a main event. Like, I would have rather had FTR versus Lucha Bros as the main event.
Absolutely.
Like, this, your great things that you do as tag matches. So why not really set that apart? Set your stuff apart from WWE, Impact, ROH, whatever other wrestling company, and say, yo, you know what? We want our tag matches to be our main events because this is what we do best.
And it's just details, because I think they thought that Darby Allin's return was a big deal.
No. See, that's the thing. Like, they think, and I get it, and I get maybe we don't have an audience, and I get even though you have crew and friends in the audience stands to make it feel like that, but it's still not it. Like, it's still not it. So therefore, go with what's it and go with what's working. If you can't understand that, look at the viewership that does drop off during these matches. It's a reason why your main event viewership drops off.
Why did Darby cost Brian Cage a match? Like, that would have just made so much more sense too, rather than them throwing a towel.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just come in the lights room and he's beating him up with a skateboard and Moxley's like, he escaped with the title. It's okay to escape with the title. That's what happened with Diesel and Bret Hart way back when. Like, hey, Bret escaped with the title because Undertaker came after Diesel, but nobody really got hurt there,
This is my major issue with AEW. As much as they have some incredible talent, they're giving people a chance. People are actually learning how to do TV. It's another place to get paid. Like, all the things. The two things that I'm big on them is they don't do the things they do great. They don't put it in the spotlight to shine. One, and two, they take too many slide shots at WWE. We need to worry about your own house. Take care of your own house first and water the grass on your side before you try to go over there and talk about the other shit. Because the other shit is chilling and being consistent and doing what the hell they got to do.
Don't talk about them until you're absolutely killing them. Then you can talk about them. Then you can make a joke.
No, and then you shouldn't. You shouldn't talk about them.
He's like, take the shots when you're winning, okay?
All right, guys. Well, this has been fun, and unfortunately, because we're about an hour 40 in, we cannot talk about Slammiversary. But I will say this. I am very interested in Impact Wrestling right now. Chris Bay, shout out to Chris Bay. They got a lot of good stuff coming on.
We got brothers. I got kids.
No, sorry.
But at some point in the next couple of days, you guys want to record a show just talking about Slammiversary, I'm game. Because I think there's a lot to cover there.
Yeah, I really need to check it out. I am very interested to see what Impact does going forward now that they've cut out some people that probably shouldn't have had jobs. But anyway, easily the match of the weekend by Jimmy. There you go.
Well, I wouldn't go there because Sasha Banks wrestled this weekend, but it was a great match. And Impact does have an incredible women's division. They have a solid 5, man. They have a solid 5 that could really elevate that women's division. They also have that twerking lady, which is weird, and I don't ever want to see that again in a match.
All right, so let's. You can see all of our socials here at the bottom, but I want Justin. I need you to tell everybody the new Instagram, sir.
First things first, guys. Keep your fingers crossed. Root for me. I'm trying to make some stuff happen, and hopefully it works. I don't know if it will, but hopefully it works out. Other than that, I'm at TWC Worldwide right now. You can find me at TWC Worldwide at both Twitter and Instagram now. Trying to rebuild that page. I want to thank everyone that's given me shout outs or shared it. And, I had some big names give me shout outs like Rosenberg and stuff too. And my following boosted way back up. A ton of the
Rosenberg!
A ton of the wrestlers and stuff followed back and stuff too, which was dope. But, the Wrestling Classic Instagram page got disabled by Instagram due to a third-party copyright strike by a company that I have a working relationship with, who then went and retracted the claims, but my page was already disabled. So we're trying to work around it. We're trying to get some stuff to happen, but
yeah,
TWC Worldwide. And also, guys, you can check me out on the TWC show every Saturday on Dash Radio, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and then everywhere else listen to podcasts after that. It's me, Devin. It's not Pastor. We had Cody Decker on it. And hopefully you'll get to see me more on here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome stuff going forward. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
Rosenberg!
We had to,
Yeah. Johnny, what do you got?
Well, as y'all know, Comic-Con from home is this week.
Oh, jeez.
To the 26th. There's going to be a bunch of dope panels. Your boy's going to be in the Artist Alley selling his books and whatnot. Got my page set up and whatnot. So, again, if you can, please go support. Check out a bunch of dope panels for some of your favorite shows, movies, books, and so forth. And then also, again, check out, the Artist Alley because, again, there's going to be a bunch of dope artists and creators there selling their books, the artwork, the prints, help decorate your house, give you something new to read and check out. So, again, go support these artists because, sadly enough, as you know, we ain't going to get conventions for a long, long time. So, again, try to go support as much as you can. And other than that, that's it.
Neeson?
Rosenberg! That just sounds funny to me. And just saying, Intercession. I keep saying this, and I'm gonna just keep saying it because, God damn it, it's a great show. So, Intercession at NA Session. That's INASESSION on Instagram. We're shooting some episodes coming up. We have some great sponsors that's already on board. So guys, it's really coming together. And if I say this, if you know any artists, creatives alike, anyone that you think will be great on the show, please slide in my DMs at Stay Fly Life right here. Shoot me, slide them to me. I'll check them out. And then we'll figure something out for them. If they're in LA, we can do a practical one. We can actually go shoot 3-camera shot and do all that stuff with a safe set and get tested and all those things. So that's all. Follow me here and then follow me on Intercession. And then, yes, apparently we have some great stuff coming up with Justin. So, hey, I can't wait. And just go ahead and follow Sasha Banks and tell her how much I love her. The Boston Blueprint, the Standard. The GOAT. I actually bought 3 shirts of hers, and I don't know. I mean, look, yeah.
Maybe Sasha will like me on this new page.
Oh, maybe.
You said what?
Maybe Sasha will like me on this new page. I probably shouldn't call it Salsa Banks.
Salsa Banks.
For me, guys, twitch.tv/that hashtag show.
Yeah.
If you haven't been able to tell, I got a green screen, I got some lights, I got the webcam, and I got my old microphone set up. I got my PlayStation ready to go. I got my PC ready to go. So we're going to play some games. And also, I haven't looked into it yet, but I think we might watch some Japanese wrestling on there as well. Nothing like we'll watch some that they don't have a streaming site. So I'll look into that before I get into that. But I'll be streaming from there a lot more often because of this setup. Tornado Tag Radio is my wrestling podcast. I'm pretty sure we're going to start watching Impact and reviewing it on there. And that's it for me plug wise. But guys, thank you so much. This went way longer than maybe it should have, but I think we said a lot of great stuff and it was a good time. Facebook.com/THS Wrestling News, Instagram.com/THS.Wrestling, YouTube.com/that#show TV, and most importantly, that#show.com for everything trending in geek pop culture.
Bye,
See you guys
Tegan.
next week.
Bye, Tegan. Bye.
Bye, Tegan.
Bye.